We have some big news coming in. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has identified 8 districts in Karnataka as hotspots. Here are the hotspots now. Bengaluru, Mysuru, Belagavi, Dakshina Kannada, and more hotspots are Bidar, Kalaburagi, Bagalkote and DHARWAD. These are the hotspots, 8 of them that have been identified by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Department. 8 hotspots across the state of Karnataka. Without doubt, these are 8 hotspots that will come under the red zone, which means there will be intense restrictions in these 8 areas, 8 places going forward. Bengaluru, Mysuru, Belagavi, Dakshina Kannada, Bidar, Kalaburagi, Bagalkot and DHARWAD. These are the 8 hotspots identified by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Department. Quite important indeed. Now it remains to be seen as to what kind of action will be taken in the remainder of the lockdown up until the 3rd of May and post 3rd May as well. What kind of action will be taken on ground in these 8 districts in Karnataka which have been identified as hotspots. So they are in fact a red zone. We're talking about how there are color codings for the zones yellow, green and red. And districts across the country will be put into these 3 zones, signifying the stage in which they are in their fight against COVID-19. If suppose there's an area that has been able to restrict the number of cases and deaths, they may fall under green zone with minimum restrictions. While if you were to fall in yellow or red, you may have a seal down or a lockdown that will be imposed. For more on this, I'm being joined in by my colleague Amrita, joining us live from the newsroom. Amrita, we're talking about 8 districts that have been identified as hotspots. We're talking about them being identified as red zones as well going forward. What are the more details that you have?
Adarsh, over here we have 8 hotspots right here in Karnataka out of the 170 hotspots which have been identified all across the nation. Now, one of those hotspots also includes Bengaluru urban area, wherein so far 71 total COVID-19 positive cases have been detected, out of which 34 are active, and we've already seen 2 deaths coming to light from Bengaluru City due to COVID-19. So it is safe to say that, Bengaluru urban has been categorized as a red zone right now, somewhere where a lot of cases of COVID-19 have been found. But what is a good thing about Bengaluru City is that so far there has not been any cluster region or cluster cases which has come to light in Bengaluru City, like when compared to Mysuru City. So when it comes to Bengaluru, we do not have any cluster cases. However, there has been a rise of severe acute respiratory infection, something that has been categorized as mysterious cases of COVID-19. But then again, it is also possible that these people who have been categorized under SARI are also the secondary contacts of an infected persons who weren't traced by the health department. Moving on, the other district which has been identified as hotspot in Karnataka is Mysuru, which so far has 58 total cases of COVID-19 with 46 active cases and 0 deaths so far. And most of the cases in Mysuru region has been due to the Nanjangud pharmaceutical factory, which has already been declared as a red zone, and several cases out of 46, at least 30 are the employees of this Nanjangud pharmaceutical factory, and at least 50 of the 46 active cases that we have right now have been all the secondary and primary contacts included the employees put together are the COVID-19 cases from Mysuru. Now, the other places which are also now been listed as COVID-19 hotspot are Belagavi, Dakshin Kannada, Bidar, Kalaburagi, Bagalkot and DHARWAD.
Well, Amrita, do stay with us. We have more big news coming in. The Ministry of the MOH has in fact gone ahead and has given out the zones in which these districts will fall under. The zones and which district fall under which zone is on your screens at this point in time. CHIKKABALLAPURA and UTTARA Kannada will fall under the orange zone. And yes, we're talking about how orange and green zones have been released in Karnataka. Orange zones: Ballari, MANDYA, UDUPI, Bengaluru Rural are the places that come under the orange zone. Davangere, Gadag, Kodagu and Vijaypura also come under the orange zone. While CHIKKABALLAPURA and Uttara Kannada too come under the orange zone. Well, these are the orange zone, the districts that really fall under the orange zone at this point in time. Yes, there are more color codings. We have the red zone as well, and we have the green zone as well. So orange zone, you have the districts that are on your screens at this point in time. Red, orange and green. So the details are slowly coming out. Orange zone is Davangere, Gadag, Kodagu, Vijaypura, a bunch of places that fall under the orange zone. So we are getting in fact more details as to which district, which place in Karnataka really falls under which zone out of the three. We're talking about red, orange and green. Amrita, coming back to you. The red, orange, green coding, the districts that we were just discussing seem to be falling under the orange zone at this point in time. So that means we are talking about an extension of a lockdown, because green zone is very few restrictions and maybe red zone is a complete seal down. So where do they stand? Where do these districts stand given the fact that they come under the orange zone?
When it comes to the red zone, particularly Adarsh, there the cases of COVID-19 have either doubled in a week's time, or there has been a 70% growth in the last 3 days. So that also includes, earlier we didn't have these districts listed for any COVID-19 cases, but in the past week, since the rise of cases of COVID-19, these districts have also come under the red zone right now, and those include Dharwad, Belgavi, Bagalkot, Bijapur, Gulbarga. So if we see a trend over here on the map, we can see that these are the northernmost regions in Karnataka, and they all share borders with Maharashtra. As we all know that in Maharashtra there are maximum number of COVID-19 cases in all over the country. So that being said, it is also, there are also several cases which have been due to people traveling to Maharashtra and then coming back to Karnataka in these border regions and North Karnataka regions, which has resulted in the increase of COVID-19 cases. Now, speaking about Belagavi, which is also another, hotspot district which has been identified by the central government. There are so far 19 cases of COVID-19 detected there, and 18 are total active cases, with one death also being reported from this particular district. So it is the third state in Karnataka which has the maximum number of COVID-19 cases, and the main criteria of these hotspot districts are those wherein more than one case of COVID-19 have been reported, and that where the rate of growth of cases, that is the doubling of cases are there. Now, these particular areas have also been, called as containment zones. Now, other than that, there are also several other, districts in Karnataka which have been listed out, which also includes Kalaburagi. Now, Kalaburagi was also one of the places wherein the first COVID-19 death from India was reported. Kalaburagi right now has 17 total cases of COVID-19 with 12 active cases, 3 deaths and 2 discharges. Now, on the map itself, Kalaburagi also has been categorized as a red zone because of the number of cases which have been coming out from this particular place.
Amrita,
Now,
in fact, we have more details coming in as to how 11 districts have been identified as green zones. They have been classified under the green zone category. Districts with no COVID-19 positive cases in the last 28 days is what comes under the green zone. Districts with low cases, very low cases, or 0 cases in the last 28 days come under the green zone, and they've been identified in the state. Districts with low growth of cases in the last 1 week is orange zones. So some details coming out as to what each zone really signifies. Green zone in the sense no COVID-19 cases in the last 28 days. While orange zone is low cases, low number of cases in the last month or so, while red zone obviously means maximum number of positive cases coming in from those particular zones. So while Amrita, coming back to you, while we are yet to get a few details about which of these districts will come under the green zone, we're talking about how it is all down to the number of cases that are coming from a particular district or a zone. We're talking about green, which essentially means no COVID-19 cases whatsoever. They have identified a few districts like that, and orange is low COVID-19 cases, low positive cases, low number of positive cases, while red is obviously a high number of positive cases. So what about green category, and what more details do you have on the segregation itself into the three colors?
So others talking about we can say is orange zones, which have been categorized as where there are low growth in the last 1 week or no new cases in the past 1 week. So it includes Bidar, Uttar Kannada, then Mysuru, as well as CHIKKABALLAPURA. However, Mysuru can be a little dicey over here, so that is not confirmed whether Mysuru is also come under the orange category, because we've seen a lot of cases coming in from Mysuru, but then again that also belongs to one particular cluster case that is in Nanjangud. So over here, Bangalore rural and Bangalore urban have also been categorized under the orange zone, which means that there has been a low growth in the past 1 week or no new cases in the past 1 week. But we can say that while there are the maximum number of cases in Bengaluru urban, as we know, and it has also already been declared as a hotspot district in Karnataka. It is also true that it's not being categorized as a red zone and it's an orange zone now, because Bangalore so far in the past 1 week has not had a surge of COVID-19 cases as compared to the other places that we have seen so far. So when it comes to zero COVID-19 cases, which are the green zones, there are some places which have been detected, which includes Yadgir, Raichur, Koppal, Haveri, Shimoga, Chikkamangaluru, Hassan, Chitradurga, Kolar, Ramnagara and Chamarajanagar. But all of these places and all of this data is again subject to quite frequent changes, as the number of cases and number of people are continue to be detected for COVID-19. But that being said, so far we've had three categories of patients which have tested positive for COVID-19, which includes one is foreign travel history people, the other ones are the SARI category, and now there has been a latest inclusion which includes influenza-like illness. But that being said, the other cases which have been contributed to the most number of cases of COVID-19 in Karnataka have also resulted from the Nanjangud cluster case, as well as those who returned from Nizamuddin Markaz event as well. And once again, they have went on to infect several other people. And while the state government and the health department has been able to successfully identify the primary contacts of the infected people, or at least those with the travel history and those who went to Nizamuddin or from Nanjangud, their secondary contacts have been quite difficult to trace so far, and that has resulted in several mysterious cases also popping up right now. So the cases that we have talked about, the severe acute respiratory illness and influenza-like illness, these particular cases is also suspected to have been the secondary contacts of an infected people who have not been detected so far or identified by the health department. That being said, the Bengaluru urban DC Shivamurthy has already given out strict orders to the health department officials, whoever is working on the field, and especially for contact tracing, that the primary contact of any infected person which is coming up right now should be detected within 12 hours time, and the secondary contact should be detected within 24 hours time. So this will now reduce the contacts of an infected person going undetected by the health department. But whether it is feasible on the ground, whether it is actually enforceable on the ground, is something that we do not know yet, and those results are yet to be awaited, whether the health department now speeds up contact tracing, because one place where it is lacking is the speed in contact tracing, which has led to several mysterious cases coming up right now, which could have been avoided